Our other top story tonight, prosecutors say Dale Warner murdered his wife and had help from his son to cover up the crime. Today, both appeared before a judge for a key hearing. And, today, Dale Warner and his son Jiren appeared in court close to 4 years after Dee Warner was reported missing.
Dale is expected to stand trial in September while his son awaits a preliminary hearing. Let's get to Victor Williams. He's live here in the studio to help us get caught up on what happened today. Victor.
Yeah, Damon and Kimberly, back in August, Dee Warner's remains were found inside of this building in a tank just like this one on the property of her husband, Dale Warner, 3 years after she went missing. Today, it's her husband and her stepson who are actually both facing charges related to her death. Both hearings were very short with not much happening, but it was interesting to see both of these men in court on the exact same day.
People versus Jiren Warner.
Father and son appearing in court just hours apart in the death of Dee Warner. The newest arrest and set of charges are against 28-year-old Jaron Dale Warner, who's accused of tampering with evidence and accessory after the fact to a felony. Today was his probable cause conference where he briefly physically appeared in the courtroom with grieving family members watching on in the crowd. Right now, he's out on a $125,000 bond, but he's due back in court on April the 4th. Just hours later, his father, Dale Warner, virtually appeared in court stone-faced, where his attorney filed a motion to quash the bind-over and dismiss the new charge of tampering with evidence, arguing it was never presented what evidence exactly the prosecution is talking about.
One thing that is omitted from any portion of the examination is the government addressing count 2. So we don't know what the government's position is on what evidence was tampered with. Now they can come forth and say, well, this is our theory, this is the evidence that we met. But they never even raised it at the exam.
The prosecution retorting with this since Dee's body was later found in an anhydrous tank on Dale's property after the initial set of charges were filed.
Her body was never recovered. Her cell phone was never recovered. Obviously, those items were taken off of the property by Mr. Warner. That can be presumed by the court based on the fact that he was bound over as to count 1 homicide. Instead of an outcome being made today, the judge will be making his decision at a later time.
Well, I'll take this under advisement and issue a written opinion as soon as I possibly can.
Now, we will have that decision from the judge on if that motion will be granted or not. But once again, Jaron Dale Warner is due back in court in just 25 days on April the 4th.
Yeah, this has been going on 4 years. Must be so hard for the family.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw a lot of them in court, in the courtroom, seeing everyone involved, all of them just familiar faces.
Yeah, all family members. All right, Victor, we appreciate your report.
Thank you.